So, yeah, AP Calculus just took the test. Just kidding, not today, but like Monday, very first Monday, because that's when it started. So, I don't know if I can make this video to be honest, so I'm gonna play a safe ball here, and I'm just not gonna talk about the test. Like, I'm not gonna talk about it, I'm not gonna say anything about it. I think the FRQ is released, but to be completely safe, I'm not gonna talk about the test at all. I'm just gonna talk about like the class itself and just maybe calculus in general, because I find it to be it was a pretty interesting class, but I'll go more into that for that. Calculus is a class that you're gonna have to take in high school, and if you're not, most likely in college, unless you don't want to do college at all, so you might just miss out on calculus. But calculus is a very interesting math class. I'll say that this and geometry, to a certain extent, was like probably like my entry like level, not entry level, but like a weird jump from like math, because when I did math, I did like basic one to sixth grade, and then seventh grade I was in algebra, and then eighth grade I was in geometry, which was a very weird transition, because geometry it was I didn't really like geometry that much. The whole like angle side angle thing with triangles, I still don't understand that crap at all, and hopefully I'll never be able to use it. And then from geometry I went to algebra two, and then from algebra two I went to pre-calculus, the AP version, and then I went to AP Calculus AB, because the way my school does the AP math classes, they want me to go from AP Pre-Calculus, which is the newest one. I was like one of the first people to do it, and then AP Calculus AB, which acts as like AP, not AP, like Calculus 1, and then AP Calculus BC, which I'm gonna do next year, which is like not AP, it's like Calculus 2, right? So that's kind of what the whole thing is. No, I didn't take AP Calculus AB because I can't handle BC. I'm literally gonna take BC next year. Like that's gonna happen, but that's just the way my school did it. But let's just talk about calculus. Let's do it. If you don't like math, get the frick out of this video. All right? Good. All right. So people who like math, calculus makes you like look at like algebra. Oh graphs. Oh, pre-calculus. Oh, like limits. Oh, this graph increases to draw to find like the zeros of this function, or you do like quadratic formula, or you gotta do like complete the square. Oh, here's a problem, we'll make it. Yeah, so what you do in that, right? So in calculus, what you do is that you just throw all that crap away. Like you just take that knowledge, you just like LeBron James into the freaking basketball court, because you're not gonna need that knowledge. The only thing that you'll need is probably like basic crap from those classes. So like knowing about how to do an equation or knowing about that. But like calculus is like a whole, like just a different ball game. Like it's not algebra, it's not pre-calc. Well, it's kind of like pre-calc, but it's just a whole different ball game. Like instead of like like finding the slope of a linear graph, well, you have to be able to find the slope of literally any single graph out there, even if it's like this. You're gonna have to know how to find the slope of that if it's continuous or differentiable, which is what derivatives are. Literally, derivatives are just the slope of a very like non-linear graph. Like if like this is like a sine function, you're gonna have to know the slope of that, which is, well, it's a cosine. So you're gonna have to know that, right? And it's a very weird class. I like it. It's challenging, not as challenging as people say. I like math. I'm someone who likes math, so that's probably like one of the reasons why people in my school. There's only like 15 people total in my school that takes both AB and BC combined, so that's not a lot of people. There's like 10 people in my class that takes that class, because everybody else takes like, pre-calculus, uh, math for college algebra, but yeah, with calculus boys right here, right? So it's an interesting class. I mean, it's cool. Like even the AP test is, well, I'm not gonna say it's hard, but it is difficult. That means the exact same thing, but I don't care. The thing about AP calculus is that you learn the basics of calculus. Like again, calculus, a whole different ballgame of math. Like here's like algebra and all that, and then here's like calculus. It's just like it's over there. Like that's where it is. You look at math differently. You look at graphs differently. You look at everything differently. It's like a big like change from like your typical math class, like your typical like standard math class, like, oh, 2 plus 2 is 4. Well, you gotta find the freaking volume of this graph that is rotated around this axis. Like that's kind of like what it is. So it's just like a big step up. And obviously calculus, it's like those. It's not like math class. It's like top tier. Like calculus is the backbone of like literally almost every single like thing like physics, chemistry, you know, even like higher order like math classes, like calculus is that guy. It that's your starter pack. Like calculus is your starter pack, and then once you know calculus, you can literally become an engineer. Like that's what it is, and it's cool. It really is cool. I don't really want to go too much into it. I mean, the big things you do in AP calculus AB, because that's the one I took. You learn about limits, so like different like a line approaching like a certain point, and there's like a hole, and you know like freaking L'Hopital's rule or L Hospital's rule, but it's L'Hopital rule. Come on, you know, like limits, squeeze theorem, and then you know like derivatives, which are very fun to do on your own. I make a lot of videos about derivatives and integrals. They're so fun. Literally deriving and integrating like indefinite integrals and deriving different like expressions are absolutely fun. It is like once you learn how to do integrals and derivatives and knowing what to do, it's fun. Um, and then seeing how you can like apply it, like layer rates, volume of things, like areas between curves. Like I never knew that like the derivative of velocity with respect to time is acceleration. Like that's something that I should learn in freaking science class. I learned that in calculus. I learned that in a freaking math class. Or like in calculus, you're gonna have to know. Well, AP calculus, you're gonna have to know your different like areas of shapes, like equilateral triangles, semicircles, circles, trapezoids, which is very big, and Riemann sums. Like it's cool. It is. It's hard. Again, it's not an easy class. This is saying it's not easy. It's hard class, but it's like a cool little like. It's just it's like a very different thing. It's like jumping into like a different series. It's like going from like Breaking Bad to I don't know like an anime. Like I don't know how to explain it. It's just it's you just have like a new perspective of like it's it's like wearing glasses, right? And then you put on sunglasses, right? I don't know how to explain it that big, but it's like a big jump. Is what I'm saying. But it is fun. I like it. Obviously, it's hard. Obviously, you're gonna fail. Like I failed tests multiple times because, again, I don't really learn things on the spot. It takes me a while to learn it, and then once I have that aha moment, I understand it. I had the biggest aha moment I had was literally USub when I finally understand how to do USub. I literally stand up on my chair. I'm like, holy crap! Oh my god, I understand it. I understand it now. And that's like what I did. Like I was in shock. And I'm like, okay, now I know. Like that, I know how to do integrals now, and it's fun. It is. So things that you cover in that class. I mean, you do a lot. Like so, like concavity. You're gonna have to know that. Like, you're gonna have to know like velocity of the graph. And I don't know how to. I'm not gonna go in definite again. It's just video just talking about calculus. It's a very interesting class, right? So and then, there's a lot of different forms of calculus. So there's like obviously calculus one and then calculus two, which I heard is like the hardest math class because it's like you learn there's like this like your fresh start new learning new things like knowing how to integrate, knowing how to do this, knowing like series and all that. So it's hard. And then like calculus three, it's just calculus one, but in a 3D aspect. So instead of like you know find the derivative of like a slope, like a 2D slope in calculus 3, you're gonna have to know like the slope of like a vector or something like that. Like it's just calculus 3 is like calculus 1, calculus 3 are very like in the same ballpark where okay, calculus 1 is just 2D, calculus 3 you take calculus 1 knowledge and just apply it to 3D, but calculus 2 is hard because it's like you have to like know a lot about 2D, and then once you get to multivariable calculus or calculus 3, then you just it's just calculus 1, but you just know more things like Jacobian and vectors and all that. Like it's cool. And then you get into like your other higher order math class like linear algebra, real analysis, freaking topology, freaking math 55 from Harvard. Like you learn all that thing. Like calculus is the backbone. Like that's like your friend and savior. Like if you thought that algebra was your backbone, nah. You want to go into higher order math classes, calculus is going to be a backbone. And obviously the backbone of calculus is algebra. And obviously the backbone of algebra. So like it's just But yeah, everything that you learned from kindergarten to freaking pre-calc or whatever, that's all that information you learned is gonna be applied into calculus somehow. And obviously, your higher order like engineering and all that is gonna have that calculus plus all this and everything else. So it's like that checkpoint. Like once you reach calculus, you're like at that checkpoint, and it's cool. I mean, I'm not saying it's an easy class. I'm not saying that it's all jolly, rainbows, unicorns, and just like a big flow. It is hard. It is hard. It's hard. It is. I can't say. And obviously, calculus 2 would be way more harder. But again, calculus is fun for me. I don't know how to say it, but it's cool. I like seeing math in a new, different way. But in honor of those AP calc tests, again, I wish hopefully everybody did good. To be completely honest, on my calc test, I think I did fairly decent. I don't think I failed, but I don't know if I did the great. I don't know if I got that 5. I probably got either a 3 or a 4. Uh, but I don't think I'm gonna get a 2 or even a 1. If I do get a 2, then I'm just gonna not send those AP scores. I'm just gonna, just hopefully BC will help me. But I don't think it's cool. And also the thing about the AP curriculum, like in like specifically the AP curriculum, it like really like tests your knowledge on the information. So like what if you understand, you know, for example, limits. It's, the AP test is gonna really test you. Like, okay, so you understand it. Let's see if you really understand it, and that's like kind of what it's doing. And which is why it's hard. Like even though you understand like okay the basics of it, you're gonna have to know a little bit more about it because that's what the AP test will be. But I don't know about the other calculus, like the normal regular, like college calculus curriculum. I don't know if that's different, but for AP specifically, it like really goes into depth. Okay, you know how to do this. All right, let's think more critically, and that's kind of what it is. So I'm gonna stop you here because I'm pretty sure anybody who took the calculus test they don't want to even hear the word calculus for about freaking 2 months. And I understand that it's interesting. 3 hour 25-minute test with breaks is it's a lot. It is, but yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching.